The Joey Lost Tape mod just dropped, and I want to go ahead and explain how Boyfriend ended up in this situation, and I also want to go over the different forms of Bendy that we see that pop up in this mod. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now, the reason that Boyfriend is in this situation to begin with is because he finds this large cardboard box full of unused projector reels. Now, for some of you that don't know what projector reels are, think of like VHS tapes, but older, because you gotta remember Bendy is from the 1920s. Now, what Boyfriend was able to see when he plays these projector reels were actually Bendy the Devil. Now, something triggers when he's actually watching these videos that forces him to be teleported to Joey Drew's studio, or as some of you may know it, the workshop. This place may look familiar if you played through the actual Bendy's games, or if you played through the Indie Cross mod where you got to fight against Beast Bendy and Sammy. Now that we understand how Boyfriend ended up in this situation, let's go ahead and go over each of the different phases and types of Bendy that we face in this mod. Now, the first Bendy that you end up facing is just the standard Bendy the Devil. Now, this is the character that was created by Henry Stein as Joey Studios' mascot back in the very late 1920s. If you played any of the Bendy games or watched any of his series of cartoons or comic strips, you know that he's the main character, obviously. Now, even though Bendy is a demon, he's technically not really a bad person, at least not in this form. He's kind of a troublemaker, kind of a prankster, but he's actually kind of timid. And if anything, he's more cheerful, kind of fun-loving, and mischievous in a way. Bendy's the type of character that will try to take something without paying, not so much bad like he would try to kill or really harm somebody. Now, the second version of Bendy that we see isn't technically Bendy, but a recreation of him that failed. Now, I'm talking about Ink Bendy. Now, Ink Bendy was created because people wanted to make a real-life version of Bendy, but of course, it did not succeed because it didn't have a soul. So basically what they ended up creating was a true demon-like figure that basically rules over this ink world that Boyfriend now got teleported into. And what's even worse is that it will basically constantly pursue anybody who's in that ink world and try to kill them. And if you remember seeing the Indie Cross mod, he is extremely powerful and can definitely body anybody in that universe. Now, you may also notice that you see some writing in the back of the mod when we were facing against Ink Bendy. We see that he will never set us free. It's time to believe. Dreams come true. This may be a reference to Sammy, who is also trapped in this universe, right? After Beast Bendy attacks him, he starts to lose his mind. He also starts to see Ink Bendy as some type of savior. Now, the third transformation that we see Bendy takes is actually into Beast Bendy, and this is the same character as Ink Bendy technically, but he's a much more bestial, much more monstrous, vicious version of Ink Bendy, which is hard to believe. A couple of fun facts about this version of Bendy is that he does really look like the Marvel character Venom, and he also looks like the monster from Stewie's Nightmare in the Family Guy episode titled A Lot Going On Upstairs. Now that we've gone over the three major forms of Bendy, let me know which one you like the most. I think I'm gonna have to go with the second form, Ink Bendy, because he just looks so monstrous and dope. Now, to my knowledge, the other versions of Bendy that we see in these free play songs don't really have a deep backstory to them. I think they were just made for the mod itself. But what I do find interesting is that there's a marionette version of Bendy here. And in the beginning of his song, you basically have to pay attention to the flashing colors, and that lets you know which notes you should be pushing. I wanted to mention that because I thought it was a pretty cool mechanic that I haven't seen in any other mod yet. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this video where I fully explain the new D-Size mod, including Mighty Zip, or check out this video where I played through the Elements of Insanity mod on the second channel. As always, people, thank you for watching. Make sure to go subscribe to the second channel, and we'll see you next time. Peace, peace.